Leal is a true community leader. He's a savvy business person and a dynamic part of our city public service. He brings that organizational skill and that strength to the West Side Chamber. You know, we've seen good times and we've seen tough times, but to be able to grow from just 100 members to now 400 plus takes that skill set. With John, it's puro corazón, but with a strength and a convincing attitude that people want to join because they want to be part of a winning strategy.
There's no doubt that John Leal has brought in tremendous amount of energy, as you have, to the West Side Chamber. It has made it, I think, the fastest growing chamber in the city. And if not the fastest growing, certainly the one that's creating the most attention and buzz. Companies want to join the West Chamber because it's being one of those aggressive chambers, doing the networking, the hard work that it takes. John's been at the forefront of that.
The importance of John Leal to the West San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. Wow, that's just he has been a wonderful and vital component to the rebuilding of this very, very proud organization that dates back to 1994. Here in the last couple of years, membership numbers had dropped a little bit, corporate sponsor dollars had dropped a little bit, and he was a part of a core of leadership, along with Grace Rodriguez Elliott and Teresita Aguilar and Rita Hernandez and Dorian Castro and just so many dedicated folks with one premise in mind, that was to rebuild the West San Antonio Chamber of Commerce to an organization that meant a tremendous amount to not only its membership, but to its partners and to the stakeholders that were a part of this fantastic group.
Congratulations to John Leal, who has brought an incredible amount of leadership to our West Side Chamber.
John, congratulations. The award and reward that you're receiving is very well deserved.
John, congratulations on being named the 2014 Charles Gonzales Western Sector Person of the Year by the West San Antonio Chamber of Commerce. You have been a fantastic board member and a wonderful friend to not only this organization, but to so very many folks that are affected here in San Antonio. You've touched so many lives, but for the West Chamber, you've been an absolute lightning rod in helping us regrow this really, really proud organization. John, on behalf of the Board of Directors and the membership, congratulations again on being named the 2014 Charles Gonzales Western Sector Person of the Year.
We've been in this location for 54 years, and it has been such an honor to serve the community here on the West Side. I believe that we provided valuable service to the community, so it was only natural that we would want to continue the growth right here where we've been all these years. We heard many times from a couple of different bankers, don't invest too much in the West Side, don't overbuild for the West Side, and I'm so glad I didn't take their advice.
Really, my husband started the business 1 year before we got married. And at the moment I got married, I came into the business. That's about 50, well, I'm not gonna tell my age, but 50 something. And since then, we have had losses. And when the losses came, I thought that, well, that was it. That was it for the business. But then Shirley encouraged me, and she said, "No, Mother, we can do it." When I lost my husband, I didn't want it to go on. But then Shirley and Henry encouraged me, "No, Mother, we can do it. We help you. We can do it." And then when I lost my son, for sure I thought I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't work anymore. But Shirley encouraged me. She said, "No, Mother, you and I, we can do it." And it was every day. "Mother, we can do it," and we can. And she encouraged me, and she made it bigger, bigger of what we were.
Well, we know that customer service is always number one, And so it's why I believe that I am a good council member, because I have the opportunity to sit one-on-one and to listen to people. We know that by listening, we can serve the customer best. And whether it's here at my store, where we listen to the customer and really get down to what their needs are, we know that we can serve them best. And I think some of those skills that we learn here in a business that is very customer service oriented serves me well as I move on to council, and I'm able to serve the community in that regard as well. Listening, I think, is something that is really critical to our success.
My dad is or was from Guadalajara, Mexico, and he arrived in the early 40s here and went to work with his aunt running a grocery store. And he used to be the butcher and the delivery boy, and he used to deliver merchandise to all the vendors in the market square at that time. And then they had offered him a small little restaurant called Jamaica Number 5. With $150, it could all be his, right? He could buy the business and rent it. And he started off with basically 3 tables, serving tacos and caldos and menudo.
I don't think that the legacy of the Cortez family has been written yet. We're now on the 3rd generation of the Cortez family. My family, the San Miguels, my grandfather, Don Daniel San Miguel, opened his business in the 1920s in then Produce Row. Don Pedro Cortez opened his business in 1941, just down the block. So our families have been friends for now 3 generations. It is that faith in each other, that faith in the community, constant building, providing not just great service and a wonderful place to eat, but the employees at Mi Tierra love to work there. And it is because that Cortez family legacy is with its spirit and with what they give back to the community.
We want them to know that we were a family, a united family, that we were a family for the community, that we didn't forget where we came from, how we started, because it's very easy, it could easily happen. We, of course, want to grow like anybody else in the business, but we want to be able to showcase what our culture is about, and that's in the music, in the art, and in the foods. And if I may, I want to read our mission statement, if possible. It says, "We will glorify God by honoring the vision of our founders, valuing family, preserving our culture, and offering a world-class experience." And that, in a nutshell, kind of summarizes who we are and what we're all about.
You know, when I graduated the University of Texas in 1969, I married a San Antonio girl and moved to San Antonio to work in the family business that I was the 3rd generation. It was started by her grandfather, Ben Nathan, then her father, Aaron Mandel, and I was the next generation so far. The first 12 years of my business career, 45 years ago, I started on the west side, and kind of ironic, I'm ending my career on the west side. So I've run the full gamut for the 45 years I've lived and worked in San Antonio.
Well, there's no doubt that Marty Wender's legacy in Westover Hills, in San Antonio, I'd go as far as saying, is going to be a tremendous one. He's worked incredibly hard for the last 2 or 3 decades, doing it the right way. I think the best example of that is the development ultimately that we've seen in Northwest San Antonio and the Westover Hills area. You know, concepts that a few decades ago people were saying, no way, it's not going to work, it'll be too expensive, we'll never be able to get it done, now is becoming a model for a development community. And people are flocking to that side of town. Good, bad, or indifferent, they're flocking to that side of town because of all the great work that was done over the course of the last few decades with Marty's leadership.
when I moved to San Antonio, I fell in love with the people. I fell in love with the city. It's a lot different than Fort Worth, where I'm from originally. And the people that you work with, the people that help you make things happen. None of this ever happens by itself. It happens because people. And the legacy is the most important. To leave back, I mean, one of the greatest things in my life is that I can drive around and say, this is what I helped bring here. This is the jobs I've created. This is what has changed San Antonio. And that does mean a lot to me. And it's the satisfaction of building something that'll live long after I leave.
Kiolbassa Provisions Company. I think of San Antonio, I think of the West Side, I think about basic ingredients, wholesome ingredients. You know, when I think of the family, 3 generations of providing great products, that's tradition, that's San Antonio, and that's what we're proud of. I think sometimes you always hear that joke, you never want to see sausage made, but at the Kiolbassa Provisions Company, you absolutely want to see it made, because you see all of the ingredients that go into their quality products. You know, the San Antonio Food Bank and Kiolbassa have been partners for many years. It's not just the leadership of the organization that serves, but it's the employees that make a product and donate a product to help those that struggle.
Well, we feel like it's very important because it was my dad, my mother's suggestion, you know, that we do this, and so we're just following what they taught us to do. But they always believed in giving back to the community, and so we feel like it's kind of a part of doing business. If you're going to do business, then you really need to give back to the community. We feel like it's almost a part of doing business.